Hello everybody! VC Face didn't want to work with me today, so I'm a sheep. Enjoy the treat. I cover a lot of species here, and oftentimes they can be super long. But that's on purpose. When looking for videos, I have certain things I look for in order to ensure that the video remains interesting. Usually it's about whether I think the species has enough going on that it will make for something longer than 5 minutes. But it gets pretty tiring making long videos all the time, so it's nice to just take some breaks with some short ones. We happen to have some short ones here that I've been saving for just such a break. One of these I actually was going to do last Halloween, and I just did not get around to it. Anyway, these are DontJinxit's species. In this one, we'll be going over Solarkits, but we'll also go over Maelstrom orcas and night dares in the future. So if you like this one, make sure to sub for the rest, and of course make sure you go to DontJinxit's page for the full details on the species. What are Solarkits? Solarkits are an open species by DontJinxit. You might know their art. They draw a lot of cute characters and they make 3D models that I've shown on this channel before. But they also make a few original species. The Solarkit species is very short, giving you only what's needed to get you started on your designs and your species, which is pretty common for an open species. It's a perfect mix of exactly what's needed without going overboard in any single aspect. This makes it incredibly easy for anyone to read the page and learn what they need to know about the species. But if you're someone looking for extended lore info and universes of lore, you won't find that here. That's perfectly fine. Let's get started with the lore. Solarkits were created by a guy named Oliver. One day, Oliver received a mysterious project file called Project 753 from an anonymous source. Most people, like you and I, when sent texts or emails from someone we don't know, we delete it. Not Oliver. Oliver, being the curious cat, had to see what it was all about. He accepted the file and put into production the Solarkits. Oliver's experiments ended up catching the side-eye from another organization that kidnapped and slaughtered him. Was not expecting that twist, were you, Oliver? See, the joke is funny because in the guide it says Oliver is British. You're allowed to laugh now. Being killed was his punishment for refusing to tell the Shadow organization anything about his project. Later he was discovered by one of the Solarkits who worked under him. Even though Oliver's body was gross and decayed, they were still somehow able to use Oliver's project to bring him back as a Solarkit. And that's where Oliver's story ends. I'd like to know more about that Shadow agency and more about why they'd want the project file, or even who made the project file. But this is all we get, aside from some world lore. In the Solarkit world, humans and animal humanoids live together in a super advanced scientific society. So advanced that the majority have moved past believing in things like gods and religion, with its only mentions being used in the past tense, among other things you'd find in a history class. Solarkits, however, aren't the only biomechanical creatures to exist in this universe. What are the other creatures like? Who knows? This is where DontJinxit ended it, so we got another cliffhanger. I'm assuming that it's just left open-ended so that they can choose to introduce more, biomechanical species along this line. But outside of this, the rest of the lore is implied through anatomy and design of the Solarkits. Solarkit anatomy. I've already shown you what a Solarkit is, but here they are again for people who skipped ahead. There are only 3 mandatory aspects to the species, and that's that the arms and legs must be robotic, the receivers on the side of their head must be present, and the inner ear, no matter the shape or size, must have solar panels inside. So let's break this down limb by limb, and remember, if you can't keep up, I've linked to DontJinxit's site in the description. Solarkit faces can be organic, fully robotic, or have an OLED protogen-like visor display, and their snouts can be any length. Their arms have to be robotic, but they can be any style you like, and even have additional pairs of arms and levitating disembodied limbs. The same goes for the legs. Ears can be any shape or size, but have to have solar panels inside. They need these to harness the sun's energy, which they turn into plasma. The receivers, these things on the side of their head, have to be robotic, but can otherwise be any shape or style. Lastly, the tail can be organic, robotic, or made of a semi-solid gel. Outside of that, you can add things like wings, horns, accessories, antenna, and other floaty bits. They can also be organic or robotic parts and can wear clothing over their armor. Some bonus stuff, they have 4 fingers including their thumb, their fingers have to be robotic too, the entire body can be robotic, they can also fire plasma out of their hands, and they can have rocket thrusters in their feet that allow them to hover. Lastly is the style suggestions. It's recommended that they're drawn in a kimono art style, following the anime law of big eyes, small mouth, smaller than average muzzle profiles, and pear-shaped. Last rule is that they can't reproduce, but they can still have stereotypically feminine or masculine bodies by having curvier shapes or muscular masculine or by having breasts. Typically, the no reproduction rule is made so people don't create NSFW of the species. But in the next section, Jinxit says that NSFW is actually allowed. So no worries there, my little horn dogs. Solarkit Community Guide. The last bit here is a bulleted list of do's and don'ts for the community. It's a pretty long list and would only serve to artificially pad out the video length, which doesn't really help any of us, does it? Instead, I suggest that if you make one, you go to the site in the comments and the description and follow along with Jinxit's guide as they likely intended you to. And that's it. I told you it'd be a short one, didn't I? It's nice to take a break from reading books worth of lore from other species. I think Solarkits hit a nice sweet spot with what they needed for the species' use. I wouldn't mind more lore, of course, because they hinted at a mystery here, and I definitely want to know how it ends, but that's it. Thanks for watching, and thanks to my patrons who hopefully won't have to discover my mangled corpse and turn me into a machine. Although, robots are pretty cool. Anyway, thanks to Rask, Ver, Beeve, Bait, Cryptid Artha, Sly, Colorado Blue, Vaderson, Linky, Kit Chimera, and Malding Brick. I'll see y'all later. I'm gonna go figure out how much a shiny new robot body goes for these days.